Hello, Vidya, you are there?
Yes, sir, I'm there. I'm there.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. I heartily welcome you all for the job drive. Hello, hope I'm audible. Am I audible now?
Yes, sir, you're audible.
Thank you. So I heartily welcome you all for the job drive organized by National Rural Livelihood Mission, Department of Skill Development, Entrepreneurship and Livelihood. Sanjeevani, Karnataka State Rural Livelihood Promotion Society, District Administration and Zilla Panchayat, Bangalore Urban District, Bangalore South Taluk Panchayat and Kaglipura Gram Panchayat. I'm Shiv Prasad and I'll be your host for the today. And this session has been organized by Disciples India, which is a project management partner for the overall job drive. So as you all know, tomorrow we are having a job fair at Imperial Group of Institutions that is in Kaglipura. That is in the main road of Kanakpur Road. And we are expecting around near to more than 100 companies over here. Plus, as of now, there are more than 3,000 registrations which has happened. So over the period of time, I'll be giving you a brief of what kind of companies are participating and how it will be proceeding. And today's main agenda is training. So as tomorrow is the job fair, our CEO, Mr. Sri Yatish R, who is an IAS and also CEO of Bangalore Urban Zilla Panchayat, he wanted the overall candidates to be trained on the job skills. So that is where we requested Mrs. Vidya Purushottam, who will be taking up your session now for the next 1.5 hours. So any questions you have, kindly put up in the chat box so that we can see it and we can respond to the chat box over there, or we can put it over here also. So now we'll be starting the training session, and another 5 minutes our CEO will also be joining the program and he'll be inaugurating, plus wishing you all the best for the future. Over to you, Vidya madam.
Thank you so much, sir. Hi, everybody. It's been a great time being with you all. I think 17 of them are watching the live session today. Thank you so much, sir, for giving me this opportunity. And yeah, definitely. Yeah, wanted to know how many of you are very new here. Wanted to know your names, please. Can I know your names quickly in the chat box? Quickly in the chat box. Almost 18 have joined now. Let's see. So where could I see the chats up?
Some names are coming down.
Okay.
Akhilesh, Harshita,
Okay.
Nagaraj, Vijay,
Okay. Fine.
Purnima.
So let me introduce myself. By the time you guys will introduce about yourself, my name is, as usual, it's mentioned here. My name is Vidya Purushottam. I'm a corporate and soft skill trainer. I'm a psychometric NSDC trainer, and also I'm a post trainer. Today, I'll be with you to just highlight on the interview preparation, how you are going to crack the interview. That is what we are going to see. I hope you can see the screen which is mentioned here. Can you? Can you all see? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. What is mentioned? What is mentioned? Mastering interview skills from resume to response is mentioned. Can you able to see that? I would like to hear some chat, see some chat so that I can respond to you. Possible? Yeah. Okay, fine then. So what I will be taking you today is when you hear about interview, you get nerve shaken, isn't it? So to eradicate that, to remove that, I have come here to give you a lot of tips on how to crack the interview, how to prepare for the interview, what are the tips and tricks that can be followed during the preparation and during the interview, during the questioning, during the answering, how are you going to prepare? And after interview, how are you going to be ready to accept the rejection or how to accept the success? Means how you uh, got the job. So here are the so many things that I'm going to highlight you on. So before that, let me give you one particular introduction part. Like you can introduce yourself using any three emojis that represent your personality or career goals. Can I see some emojis along with your name? Okay, along with your name, the emojis which represents or resonates your personality. Can I see? Can I see? Okay. So could you read the names of them so that I can understand who are there actually writing their names with the emoji? It's going on. Okay, I wanted you to write two emojis that resonates your personality and your career goals along with your name. Possible? Why I asked you? Because your career goal may be something, but what you want to pursue is something different. Now, with the pictorial representation, we would like to see how you match the emoji, how you come out with your character. So that is what I wanted to see. If you have done with it, well and good. I think we'll move forward. So next, I am going to take you through interview superpower. What is this interview superpower? If you would have one superpower to ace the interview, what would it be? For example, you may have the ability to read the minds of people, read the minds of an employer, or you would have had a perfect memory. What is that you have? What is that one superpower you could have had to ace the interview? I mean, everybody for that matter, interview, if they think they get at least shocked, right? So, in that way, if you had superpower, we always think of, hey, if I had a superpower, definitely I would have done this. So, in that way, do you want to have, or do you really wanted to have one superpower? It's like a fantasy, before getting into the interview and not facing the kind of nervousness, right? So, what you would like to have? Come on, I would like to see how many of you put your messages in the chat saying, I wanted to have this as a superpower. Maybe like, yeah, I wish to have a superpower like I would have read everything from the interviewer's mindset. Yeah, mind reading. Definitely, I would have gone to that superpower. What about you? What about you? Come on, I want everybody to chat and write your superpower. Though we may not have it, but it's a kind of fun, in the beginning to make you understand. Okay. I request all of you to send it. Yeah. If that is done, now we will get into the next slide, which is very, very important. That is called as ATS friendly resume. Now, this is prevalent in the market. Whoever prepares the resume has to get through this applicant tracking system procedure. Why this is? What is this? This is nothing but how your resume gets shortlisted in a wonderful way with accurate way. Okay. So this is nothing but this system is used by recruiters to filter the resume. For example, if you had applied for an analyst job, maybe in an IT company or in a retail company or in a manufacturing industry or whatever. So assume that there is one position, but there are multiple applicants like 400, 500, and so on. Because India is such a vast country, population is more, we may expect for a job people that can apply more. So, in order to filter your resume, in order to filter the great resume, basically, not the mediocre resume, not even the basic resume, in order to filter the great resume, there is a system called as ATS friendly resume filtration, that is applicant tracking system. So, under which how the ATS gets detected means the resume gets detected to select. Okay. Now, how does it get select the process or the particular resume? It actually detects the standard font. Already there is an inbuilt feature that is standard fonts it will follow. It could be Arial, Calibri, or Times New Roman. I think you might have all these things at your, practice. Now, when you apply the resume by using any of these fonts, assume that you are going to get selected. But not only this, you must really avoid some graphics, tables, or fancy formatting. Back then, we used to do a lot of formatting to resume. Almost 6 years back, 10 years back, we used to do a lot of formatting, fancying the resume, putting the photos or any other form of graphics. But now it is not so. You're not going to add any kind of a graphics because the feature is like that. And next, what we can use is you can include keywords from the job description. What are these keywords? You may wonder, what are these keywords? Keywords are none other than the words which we can derive it from job description, which are very relevant and which are very important from the job perspective. Say, if, for example, if you're applying for a IT analyst, okay, or you may be applying for a data analyst job. What is your keyword should be? You should be good in academics, the particular academic skills, and you should be good at your IT skills, and you should be good at your soft skills. For example, you should be good at your detail orientation, detail orientedness, basically, and IT expertise, like you must be expertise in Java or Python or any of those relevant IT industry subject, and as well as those words. When you mention them, it becomes keywords. Hope you get it. When you mention them, it becomes keywords. those words also mentioned in job description. The employers will have mentioned that in the job description that they wanted those expertise employees for them to recruit. Okay. So when you match those job description words to the keywords which is going to be mentioned in the resume, and that those are called as keywords. Using these keywords, ATS tracking system, applicant tracking system will measure whether you have mentioned keywords, the relevant keywords according to the job description or not. This is how it is going to detect, right? So this is again a ATS friendly resume asks for. Next, we shall move on to using a clear heading. That is, we have got segregations in resume. That is, you need to mention the education section, the profile. Basically, first of all, you need to mention your personal details. Say, for example, your name, your phone number, contact number, your LinkedIn profile if you have. If you have not got it, you need to build it up once. And now, recently, we are noticing that most of them are maintaining their GitHub profile. Okay, so you can mention them, those links. And then, apart from that, you are going to put your recent education, what you've gained, that is in a reverse chronology. And then you are going to mention the CGPA, how much you obtained. And then this is how the educational profile goes. Next comes with your experience profile. Experience profile, I mean, if you are a fresher, you will not have any experience. But think that from the college, you might have had some experience pertaining to your mini projects, your internship. So these will definitely help you. I think I have to have a break, I guess.
Vidya, I would like to break over here. Sorry. Hello.
Yeah, I could hear you.
Yes. So now
Yeah.
we have along with us Honorable Yatish R. Sir, who is an IAS and also a CEO of Bangalore Urban Zilla Panchayat. So I would request sir to share some few words for the youth of Bangalore, please.
Yeah, am I audible?
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Yes. Good evening to everybody. So preferred language would be English or Kannada?
Both,
Since
sir.
I think,
Anything is
yeah.
fine.
ಎಲ್ರಿಗೂ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ. ಇವತ್ತು ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಸುಮಾರು ಜನ ಇವತ್ತು ನಮ್ಮ ಜಾಬ್ ಫೇರ್ ಓರಿಯೆಂಟೇಶನ್ ಸೆಷನ್ ಜಾಯ್ನ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದೀರಿ. ತಮ್ಮೆಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಸ್ವಾಗತವನ್ನ ಬಯಸ್ತಾ ನಮ್ಮ ಇವತ್ತೇನು ನಮ್ಮ ಈ ಎಂಟೈರ್ ಆರ್ಗನೈಸೇಷನ್ಗೆ ಟ್ರೈನಿಂಗ್ ಕೊಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ತಮ್ಗೆಲ್ಲ ಬಂದಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅವ್ರಿಗೂ ಕೂಡ ಸ್ವಾಗತವನ್ನ ಬಯಸ್ತಾ, ನಾಳೆ ನಾವು ಬೆಂಗಳೂರು ಜಿಲ್ಲೆಯ ಉದ್ಯೋಗ ಮೇಳವನ್ನ ಕಗ್ಲಿಪುರದಲ್ಲಿ ಆಯೋಜಿಸಿದೀವಿ. ತಮ್ಮೆಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಅದ್ರ ಮಾಹಿತಿ ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ತಲುಪಿದೆ. ತಾವೆಲ್ಲ ರಿಜಿಸ್ಟರ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದೀರಿ ಅಂತ ಭಾವಿಸ್ತೇನೆ. ರಿಜಿಸ್ಟರ್ ಆಗಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ತಾವೆಲ್ಲ ಬಂದಿದ್ದೀರಿ ಅಂತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಒಂದು ಅಸಂಪ್ಷನ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಇದೊಂದು ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಜಿಲ್ಲೆಯಲ್ಲೂ ನಾವು ಸರ್ಕಾರದ ವತಿಯಿಂದ ಉದ್ಯೋಗ ಮೇಳವನ್ನ ಆಯೋಜಿಸ್ತಾ SLC ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳಿರ್ಬೋದು, PUC ಓದಿರೋರು ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ITI ಡಿಪ್ಲೊಮಾ ಹೋಲ್ಡರ್ಸ್ ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ಇಂಜಿನಿಯರ್ ಡಿಗ್ರಿ ಹೋಲ್ಡರ್ಸ್ ಇರ್ಬೋದು, MBA ಹೋಲ್ಡರ್ಸ್, ನೀವು ಯಾವುದೇ ಕೋರ್ಸ್ ಅದಿರಿ, ನಾವು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಸುಮಾರು ಒಂದು 100 ಕಂಪನೀಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ಕರೆಸಿ ತಮ್ಮೆಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಒಂದು ಜಾಬ್ ಇಂಟರ್ವ್ಯೂ ಅನ್ನ ಕೊಟ್ಟು ತಮ್ಗೆಲ್ರಿಗೂ ಒಂದು ಉದ್ಯೋಗ ಸಿಗ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಒಂದು ಪ್ಲಾಟ್ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಅನ್ನ ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಇದು ಸರ್ಕಾರದ ಉದ್ದೇಶ ಆಗಿರ್ತದೆ. ಈ ಆಪರ್ಚುನಿಟಿಯನ್ನ ತಾವೆಲ್ಲ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು. ನಾಳೆ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ದಯವಿಟ್ಟು ಇವತ್ತೇನು ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಟ್ರೈನಿಂಗ್ ಸೆಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಟ್ರೈನಿಂಗ್ ಅನ್ನ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಇನ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಯಾವ ಡಾಕ್ಯುಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ತರಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ತಾವು ಪ್ರಿಪೇರ್ ಆಗಿ ಬರ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಈಗ ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ತಾವೆಲ್ಲ ಸುಮಾರು ಇಂಟರ್ವ್ಯೂಗಳನ್ನ ಅಟೆಂಡ್ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತೀರಿ ಅಂತ ನಾನು ಅನ್ಕೋತೇನೆ. ದಯವಿಟ್ಟು ಈ ಟ್ರೈನಿಂಗ್ ಸೆಷನ್ ಅನ್ನ ಬಹಳ ಕೀನ್ ಆಗಿ ತಾವೆಲ್ಲ ಕೇಳಿಸ್ಕೋಬೇಕು. ನಾಳೆ ತಾವೆಲ್ಲ ಹೆಚ್ಚಿನ ಸಂಖ್ಯೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಬರಬೇಕು. ನಾವು ತುಂಬಾ ಎಫರ್ಟ್ ಹಾಕಿದ್ದೇವೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಂಪನೀಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕರ್ತರ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ. ಎಸ್ಪೆಷಲಿ ನಾವು ಕಗ್ಲಿಪುರ ಭಾಗದಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾಕೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇವೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ನಮ್ಮ ಗ್ರಾಮೀಣ ಭಾಗದ ಎಲ್ಲ ಯುವಕ ಯುವತಿಯರಿಗೆ ಒಂದು ಅವಕಾಶ ಸಿಗ್ಬೇಕು. ಬ್ಯಾಂಗ್ಳೂರ್ ಮೇನ್ ಸಿಟಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ತುಂಬಾ ಆಪರ್ಚುನಿಟಿ ಸಿಗ್ತಾ ಇರ್ಬೋದು. ಆ ಭಾಗದ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿನಿಯರ್ಗುನು ಯುವಕ ಯುವತಿಯರ್ಗುನು ಅವಕಾಶ ಸಿಗ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ನಾವು ಈ ಲೊಕೇಶನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇವೆ. ದಯವಿಟ್ಟು ಇವತ್ತು ಏನ್ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಆಗಿ ದಯವಿಟ್ಟು ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಕೇಳಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, ದಯವಿಟ್ಟು ನೋಟ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಇನ್ನ ನಾಳೆ ಬೆಳಿಗ್ಗೆವರೆಗೂ ಟೈಮ್ ಇದೆ. ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಮಿನಿಟ್ ಪ್ರಿಪರೇಷನ್ ಅನ್ನ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಎಲ್ಲ ಡಾಕ್ಯುಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ತಗೊಂಡು ದಯವಿಟ್ಟು ಬಂದು ನಾಳೆ ಬಹಳ ಆಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಆಗಿ ವಿತ್ ಕಾನ್ಫಿಡೆನ್ಸ್ ದಯವಿಟ್ಟು ಎಲ್ಲ ನಾಳೆ ಜಾಬ್ ಫೇರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅಟೆಂಡ್ ಆಗಿ. ನಮ್ಮ ಉದ್ದೇಶ ಕ್ವಾಲಿಟಿ ಆಗಿ ಈವೆಂಟ್ ಟರ್ನ್ಔಟ್ ಆಗ್ಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ಅತಿ ಹೆಚ್ಚು ಜನರಿಗೆ ನಾಳೆ ಉದ್ಯೋಗ ಸಿಗ್ಬೇಕು. ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಜಾಯ್ನಿಂಗ್ ಲೆಟರ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ಕೊಡಿಸ್ಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋದೇ ಸರ್ಕಾರದ ಉದ್ದೇಶ ಆಗಿದೆ. ನಾವು ತುಂಬಾ ಎಫರ್ಟ್ ಹಾಕಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಂಪನೀಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ಕರ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇವೆ. ದಯವಿಟ್ಟು ಹೆಚ್ಚಿನ ಸಂಖ್ಯೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಬನ್ನಿ, ತಾವು ಬನ್ನಿ, ತಮ್ಮ ಸ್ನೇಹಿತರನ್ನು ಕರ್ಕೊಂಡು ಬನ್ನಿ, ಬಂದು ನಾಳೆ ಆಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಆಗಿ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಸಿಪೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ. ದಯವಿಟ್ಟು ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಏನ್ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಷನ್ ಇವತ್ತನ್ನ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅದನ್ನ ದಯವಿಟ್ಟು ಆಗಿ ಫಾಲೋ ಅಪ್ ಮಾಡಿ. ನಾಳೆ ಸುಮಾರು ಜನಕ್ಕೆ ಅಲ್ಲೇ ನೀವು ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ ಆಗ್ಬೋದು, ಒಂದಷ್ಟು ಜನ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ರೌಂಡ್ ಸೆಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗ್ಬೋದು. ಸೊ ಎಲ್ಲಾ ರೀತಿ ಸ್ಟೇಜಸ್ ಇರ್ತದೆ. ದಯವಿಟ್ಟು ಯಾರ್ಯಾರು ಎಲಿಜಿಬಲ್ ಇದ್ದೀರಿ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ದಯವಿಟ್ಟು ನಾಳೆ ಹೆಚ್ಚಿನ ಸಂಖ್ಯೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದು ಪಾರ್ಟಿಸಿಪೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಇದನ್ನ ಸಕ್ಸಸ್ಫುಲ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಕಾನ್ಫಿಡೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಸಿಪೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ. ಬ್ಯಾಂಗ್ಳೂರ್ ತುಂಬಾ ದೊಡ್ಡ ಜಾಬ್ ಮಾರ್ಕೆಟ್. ಇದನ್ನ ಟ್ಯಾಪ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ಟ್ರೈ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇವೆ. ದಯವಿಟ್ಟು ಈ ಅವಕಾಶವನ್ನ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಉಪಯೋಗಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳ್ತಾ, ಐ ರಿಕ್ವೆಸ್ಟ್ ಆಲ್ ಆಫ್ ಯು ಟು ಆಕ್ಟಿವ್ಲಿ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಸಿಪೇಟ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಮೇಕ್ ದ ಬೆಸ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿಸ್ opportunity that has been given to all of you. Thanks a lot for having me, and I hope all of you will actively participate and make use of today's evening training session, orientation session, as well as tomorrow's job fair. Thank you. Thank you for having me. Yes.
Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
ಮೋಹನ್ ಸರ್, ನೀವೇನಾರ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತೀರಾ? ಮೋಹನ್ ಸರ್?
ಇಲ್ಲ, ನೀವು ಸರ್ ಮಾತಾಡಿದ್ರಲ್ಲ ಸಾಕು. ಈ ತರಬೇತಿ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮ ಯಶಸ್ವಿ ಆಗ್ಲಿ ಅಷ್ಟೇ. ನಾಳೆ ಜಾಬ್ ಫೇರ್ಗೆ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಬರ್ಲಿ. ಸರ್ ಮಾತಾಡಾದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಏನ್ ಬೇಡ. ಓಕೆ ಸರ್, ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು.
Thank you. Please carry. Thank you.
So that was our Chief Executive Officer of Bengaluru Urban Zilla Panchayat, Mr. Yatish R. And now coming to the overall job drive, Vidya, I'll be taking 5 minutes of the time, please. So here we are expecting around more than 100 companies, 100 ಹೆಚ್ಚು companies ಗಳು participate ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಸೊ ಕಂಪ್ನೀಸ್ ಗಳು ಬಂದು ITI, ಡಿಪ್ಲೊಮಾ, ಡಿಗ್ರಿ, ಇಂಜಿನಿಯರಿಂಗ್, ನೀವು ಯಾವುದೇ ಪದವಿ ಪೂರ್ವ ಆಗಿದ್ದು ಒಂದು ಕಂಪ್ನೀಸ್ ಗಳಿದಾವೆ. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದು ಮೇಜಾರಿಟಿ ಕಂಪ್ನೀಸ್, ಮೇಜರ್ ಕಂಪ್ನೀಸ್ ಬಂದು TCS ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು. ನಾಳೆ TCS ಕಂಪ್ನಿ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಸಿಪೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದೆ. TCS ಬಂದು 2024 ಮತ್ತು 25 ಪಾಸ್ಡ್ ಔಟ್ ಯಾರೇ ಡಿಗ್ರಿ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಆಗಿದ್ರೆ ಸೊ ದೇ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಅಟೆಂಡ್ ಫಾರ್ TCS. ಲೈಕ್ ವೈಸ್ ಟೊಯೋಟಾ ಕಂಪನಿ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಸೊ ಯಾರೇ ITI ಡಿಪ್ಲೊಮಾ ಕ್ಯಾಂಡಿಡೇಟ್ಸ್ ಇದ್ರೆ ದೇ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಅಪ್ಲೈ ಫಾರ್ ಟೊಯೋಟಾ. ಸೊ ಹಾಗೆ ಒಂದು ಇಂಟರ್ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಕಂಪ್ನಿ ಕೂಡ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಡಿಸೈಪಲ್ಸ್ ಅಬ್ರೋಡ್. ಯಾರೇ ಜಪಾನಿಗೆ ಹೋಗೋದು ಪ್ಲಾನ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ದುಬೈಗೆ ಹೋಗೋ ಪ್ಲಾನ್ ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ಸೊ ದೇ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಅಪ್ಲೈ ಫಾರ್ ದಿಸ್ ಕಂಪನಿ. ಹಾಗೂ ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ತುಂಬಾ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕಿಂಗ್ ಸೆಕ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, BPO ಸೆಕ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, ಮ್ಯಾನುಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಚರಿಂಗ್ ಸೆಕ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಸೊ ತುಂಬಾ ಕಂಪ್ನೀಸ್ಗಳು ಬಹಳ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಸೊ ಹುಡುಗರು ಏನ್ ಹೇಳೋದು ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಸೊ ಕೈಂಡ್ಲಿ ಬ್ರಿಂಗ್ 10 resumes, 10 copies of your resumes for the job drive. Plus kindly ensure ಯಾವ್ದನ್ನೇ ಒರಿಜಿನಲ್ಸ್ ತರಬೇಡಿ ಜಾಬ್ ಡ್ರೈವ್ಗೆ. Don't get any original documents over here. It's only the photocopies which you are supposed to bring and go for the interview. So majority companies are ready to hire candidates. You know, ready there job ಸೇರಕ್ಕೆ they are happy to hire you and take you for the next round of interview. So majority will be shortlisted over here. ಸೊ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ರೌಂಡ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಶಾರ್ಟ್ ಲಿಸ್ಟ್ ಆಗ್ತೀರಾ, ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ರೌಂಡ್ ಬಂದು ರೆಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಕಂಪ್ನೀಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇಂಟರ್ವ್ಯೂ ನಡೆಯುತ್ತೆ ನಿಮಗೆ. ಅಲ್ಲೇ ನಿಮ್ದು ಫೈನಲೈಸ್ ಆದ್ರೆ ಅಲ್ಲೇ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಆಫರ್ ಲೆಟರ್ ಕೂಡ ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಬಿಡುಗಡೆ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ವಿಶಿಂಗ್ ಯು, ಬೈ ಸೇಯಿಂಗ್ ದಿಸ್, ಐ ವಿಶ್ ಯು ಆಲ್ ದ ಬೆಸ್ಟ್ ಫಾರ್ ಯುವರ್ ಫ್ಯೂಚರ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಟುಮಾರೋಸ್ ಜಾಬ್ ಫೇರ್. ಟೇಕ್ ಕೇರ್. ಓವರ್ ಟು ಯು, Vidya. Thank you.
Okay, then thank you so much. Again, I'll be sharing my screen here. Thank you so much, everybody here, the guests who had appeared here. And thank you also to Shiv Prasad sir for highlighting the benefits and the importance of job drive, basically, and also how the job drive works. I request everybody to follow the same thing. And if possible, I think I can also add some of the words in Kannada also. I would love to speak in Kannada as well. Okay, so let's start. Sir, I think I'm not able to upload my PPT. May I know the reason for it? Shiv Prasad, sir. I'm not able to upload the PPT. I cannot present it.
Kindly check now.
I'm checking. Okay. Are you able to see it?
Yeah, I can see the PPT.
PPT you can see, but I cannot see it.
Okay.
Nevertheless. Okay, I'm gonna go with it. Okay, fine. So as
Uh,
I was talking about the ATS friendly resume, I want everybody to follow the same way because now it is very much prevalent. So I will definitely want you to follow the same thing so that you can get shortlisted yourself. Okay. After the experience, what I was speaking, experience especially, I'll come back and speak about that very much now because I think we have stopped that time. Experience in the sense for the job freshers, we can take account of internship, basically what you've done in the final year and what you've done in this semester. Those experience we can take and put that into resume. Okay. And then experience with mini project, experience with any of the part-time job what you have done so far. A simple part-time job, it could be you might have worked as a sales representative, or you might have worked as an office assistant somewhere, or you might have delivered a tuition for children, small children. That would also count in. So see that any experience what you have gained so far before yourself getting into the job, those are all the experiences. Mention them, flaunt yourself because you've already got the experience. Okay, do not worry that since you are a fresher, going to directly the job is not actually the experience, but also before that, what you gain as a practical experience entering into all of this is gonna be the experience, right? And next, we will now get into skills. Skills can be bifurcated into three. What are these three skills? Namely, majorly your academic skills. You may be a commerce background student, for example. When you are a commerce background student, you are supposed to update all your commerce expertise in the sense accounting, business study, sales, marketing, etc. Now, if you are a BCA student, you are going to make your skills like your Java skills, your programming skills, your IoT skills, and etc. So these are the skills what you will be gaining and that you are going to mention in your resume. Okay. And the next one is your core skills. The core skills in the sense the technical skills. Okay, that you will be mentioning in your resume. Whatsoever it can be, your core skill that you are going to mention in your resume. And the third skill, what you're going to mention is your soft skills. Out of 10 to 12 skills of all of these, you will be mentioning soft skills are about 6 to 7 because the employers are looking at your soft skill more than any of your other skills. Okay. So in that manner, you may be able to write, you have leadership expertise, you are good in very good in communication, you might be good in time management, detail orientedness, team playing ability, decision making ability, and very recently, as per the 21st century education skills, we have more skills coming on like adaptability, collaboration, flexibility, and quick learning ability. So when you mention any of these six, you are likely to get the job. Okay. So keep check on this, enter all the skills that is preferred for your domain or for your expertise, right? If you have any doubt, just put it in the chat. I'll be able to answer you in a while. Now, moving on to the achievements. Achievements in the sense you can mention whatsoever the achievement you have gained through your degree, be it a sports, be it a academic achievement, or coding contest, hackathons, or writing a paper, presenting a paper, writing articles, whatsoever it could be. So, all in all, you'll have to achieve something and must have got the appreciation or certification. You can mention them in your resume. By collecting all of these, you can make a good resume, one pager resume that really holds good for a fresher employee, right? I think now you can able to gain confidence that what you can add in the resume. Okay. Now, after putting all these things in your resume, save it as a PDF or doc file, depending upon the employer's instructions. Now, do you have any doubts here? If you have any doubts, please write it in the chat box so that I can answer them. Or else, let's move ahead and going forward. As I said, we have this structure for your kind information. First of all, with your name, with your contact details, and all your links, LinkedIn link, GitHub link, etc. And you are going to write professional summary. For that, I would recommend you to use ChatGPT because nowadays AI has become such a vast in all the industries. You must use the AI tools to write your resume. I would definitely recommend that. What you do is add your entry level goal in the ChatGPT or Copilot or any other tools what you use. And also, along with 2 to 3 of your core skills, how would you like to make an entry into the job, especially the job which you're applying for, the designation which you're applying for? And then also, along with that, you also try to add in how you will prove yourself in the future, having these expertise, having these skills in your forte. So that is going to be making you a professional summary, which is about 3 to 4 lines, or even for a matter about a paragraph, okay, about 50 words. Now, having that said, professional summary, when you add in, it makes lot of credibility for you. Okay, that brings a lot of variation, and also it is a main thing which you will be putting in the ATS marking resume. It definitely gives you a add-on benefit to you, and preferably you are going to make it a customized one. In the sense, how I told you the procedure which you will be doing in the Copilot or AI tools. Otherwise, if you take a generic content from the Google search, it doesn't suffice your the job requirement, right? So adding that, we'll go for the education. Definitely, as I said, this is the structure you are going to follow. Experience, that should be in a reverse chronology, and skills and certification and achievements, and that's it makes a wonderful resume for you. I hope this information is given a total on look on the resume, right? Once the resume is ready, now we will try to understand how to prep the interview. Okay, now we'll see how to prep the interview. Here it is, preparing for the interview. First of all, I have segregated interview preparation into 3 segments. One is before interview, and second is during interview, and the third is after interview. Okay, may I ask you one question for all of you? You tell me which part of the interview is important, whether it is a before interview, during, or after interview. You tell me which one plays an important role, all of you. I want the answer. Okay. Now, I would say before interview. You know why? Because here you get a lot of things to prepare. So, how to prepare and what to prepare? I think most of you will have a confusion like, what should I get prepared for myself in order to prepare for the interview? You may not have the proper structure. Okay. So, for that, I have given here some of the tips. Like, first of all, you will have to research the company. Go into website of the particular company. For example, now Sir was talking about TCS, and Sir was also talking about many retail industry, manufacturing industry, and multiple industry. Now, all the websites are available in the Google. Go for it. Research on the company. Find out the mission, vision, values, recent projects of the company. Read it thoroughly. Get yourself prepared on it, right? And also understand the role of what you're applying for. Okay. Skills that are required for you to apply to that job and responsibilities. These are very important for you, folks. Let me remind you of responsibilities, as in, like, what are you going to perform in the company with that designation? Okay. So that makes somewhere you get how to understand the role, right? Now, after studying that, let's get into practicing common question. Now, I have lot of common question that can be given for you as a mock interview today. Okay, followed by each slide, you will notice one or the other way how to, crack the interview question and everything. Now, apart from that, before interview, you got to prepare on dressing sense, your grooming. Your dressing sense has to be accurate. Try to wear formal dresses. Try to be in the attire, try to be in the accessories where you're not going to get noticed so much in a different manner. Okay, maybe in casual manner, I would say. So prepare well in that in that way, like most of the time you can see some of the grooming skills, how to groom yourself in the internet. Go ahead and check it out and dress accordingly. Okay, then dress also appropriate to the standards of the industry. Most of the culture of the industries will have a variation. The culture differs accordingly. You should read in the website and start understanding that. And also, lastly, for the preparation of the interview, the main thing is mindset. How you make your mindset is important. Have a great confidence, because the confidence which is shown on your face is absolutely necessary. Okay, means the body language, how you prepare for the body language. According to the Meherbin rule, 55% of the body language is observed by people, especially during interview. How you project your hand gesture, how you project your facial expression, how you feel confident on your face and body language, absolutely necessary and absolutely observed. So your confidence, your humbleness, humility, the modesty, the honesty which you can depict on your face should be very good. And provided, prepare 60 seconds of self introduction. That is called as elevator pitch. I would like to give you some tips on elevator pitch for a 60-second, may about 30 seconds also. From 30 seconds to 60 seconds, where you will be giving a elevator pitch with confidence that makes a mark. First of all, talk about your name. Okay. Don't say myself. Instead, you say, my name is, I am, smilingly. Okay. Then talk immediately about where you are from. Where you are from really gives a complete understanding that you as a person from where you hail. Okay. So talk about that and immediately talk about your educational background because employer immediately want to know what have you recently graduated with. What have you recently completed with? That he or she would like to know immediately. Then talk about one of your ability for a elevator pitch. So construct the sentences in such a constructive order or a structurized order so that it can limit itself to 30 to 60 seconds of your elevator pitch. And after talking about ability, talk about what sort of a personality you are. Are you a organized person, or are you a motivated person? Are you analytical person? Or are you friendly person? Or are you expressive person? What you are. Okay. So talk about any one word. I'm an expressive person. I'm a friendly person. I gel with everybody immediately, quickly. I'm a quick learning person. Something like that. Bring a credibility to your own self. When you bring this on, assume that your elevator pitch is successful. So there is a hiring chances more. Right? I think I have given enough of inputs about before the interview preparation. Research about the company thoroughly in the website and understand how the company works much before what you can notice getting inside the interview hall. Refer more about or research more about the founder or about the chairperson there or HR people there, know their names, know their designation, know the value how the company gives, etc. Right? I think moving on to the next one. Now, it's very important. During the interview means on the day of the interview. On the day of the interview, when to reach. Now, time management plays a important, a vital role. If you have interview at around 10 a.m., be there by 9:30 a.m., half an hour early. Why? Because at least you can relax. At least you can see the surrounding, what is happening, what the coat has been put on the walls, etc. By seeing all these things, you kind of become cool. You start understanding how to give a breathing, also how to answer. You will start visualizing it. Okay. When you be present at least 30 minutes before, you at least have that sort of mindset, you can answer well with confidence. So that's what I actually tell to people. And apart from that, during the interview, maintain confident body language, eye contact, a good posture, sit erect, don't sit slouch, don't see here and there anyone. Your eye contact should be towards the employer who is asking a question with confidence and smilingly. You can answer them. Though you may not know answer, you say them, I think this is a very new thing for me. Let me understand thoroughly and come back to you. That's how your confidence level should be. And eye contact, it should be spacious and towards the employer. The way how they ask questions, similarly, your eye contact and your facial expression must go. They will find out if you have the eye contact in a different way or body language in a different way. Face is the index of mind, isn't it? So that's how they will come to know. Then, this is important, means listen actively. Pay total attention to the employer or the person who is asking question. It could be HR or whoever. Okay, please pay attention to the question what is being asked in the interview. Do not stop them in between and you start answering, because it's a bad habit. First of all, you need to listen to their question, calm down yourself, take 1 or 2 seconds or 10 seconds for that matter, and then think thoroughly and start answering after they question. Answer should be very clear. In the sense, find out how you are pronouncing each word. Means before you could go to the interview, you must practice well. Practice is the key for preparation. Practice. Practice makes everybody perfect, isn't it? So much before the interview, practice how to pronounce also. That's how your answers can be clear. And read the question with answer thoroughly. Now, another method what we are going to use is extensively used in the world, extensively used in India especially, that is called STAR method of answering. This has been an incredible method of answering for a structured answer, right? So now when we undergo this process of interview, STAR method plays a vital role. I think now we will learn about them. Much before that, let me ask you some question. Now, when you are there in the interview, now you want to ask some questions to employer. What are the questions you can ask? Now, these are some of the questions which I have brought for you. What does a success look like in this role? Yeah, you may ask this question. Until then, you cannot ask any question. Rather, when they ask you, do you have question for us? You say yes. But don't ask about the salary perks. If you ask about salary perks, I think it doesn't value the job. Instead, you say these questions. You ask these questions like, what opportunities for the growth and learning are available in this industry? And how does the team collaborate on the project? How will I be a good team player for the project? What I can learn a best practice from this very particular designation? How will I find myself growth in this position? So these are the questions what you can question to the employers much before you can just come out of the hall or the interview place. This absolutely should be done when they ask you a question called as, do you have any question for us? This part, why I have now been telling is, this is all about during interview part. Okay. Now let's take you into after interview. So much before that, you may also tend to ask a question called as, what is your salary expectation? Kindly don't tell your expectation. Rather, employer wanted to know how open-minded are you. I mean, nowadays, everybody have mentioned in the package itself, like whenever they have mentioned the job description, they will surely have mentioned that the salary, like 4 LPA, 5 LPA, 4.5 LPA for that matter, you can negotiate on that and you can understand. There's no meaning of asking you the number. Okay. So anyway, if they ask you what is your salary expectation, this is the answer you can give it to them. That is like, based on my research and understanding of the role, I believe a fair range would be between so and so, or else you may not again wanted to tell the figure. I'm flexible and more interested in the growth opportunities and learning in this role offers. This is how you can answer for a salary expectation, because most of the employers would like to know how you are open-minded instead of giving a fixed number, so that you can frame your answer in such a way that you are emphasizing more on the value which is given by the company, or flexibility what you enjoy after joining the company. That's what. Okay. So I think I have answered the most crucial question by this way. Anybody who would like to ask a question of salary expectation as an employer, you don't have to give a figure, right? Now, after interview, a follow-up action must be there with everybody. First of all, after you come out of the interview hall, go home and send a thank you note in an email within 24 hours. That's how it is, should be there. And reflect on your strength area and areas of improvement. Maybe you can highlight that. And stay patient, but be proactive in follow-ups. Stay patient where until you get the answer for the interview, whether you have been selected or not. Right? This is all about after interview preparation. There is nothing much, but the patience will actually take you into everything. Okay, patience and as well as being proactive and energetic, right? Now we will move on to types of interview question. These are very, very important. I shall tell you. I think I've already introduced what is STAR method. Yes, still we are going to figure out what it is. So the 4 method is behavioral, technical, situational, HR or personal round of interview. So for behavioral round question, that is a test on your behavior. They just wanted to understand how you behave, maybe during the interview or once you join the company, how your behavior be like. Because more than your home, you will be active in the companies. You'll be spending more time in the companies, right? At that time, you have to keep check your behavior. I think tell me about a time you solved a conflict. Example. That tests your behavior. How you behaved during a time of conflict and how did you solve it? Because sometimes we get into conflicts, but we don't know how to solve it. Now, that is a check on your behavior, that is a check on your temperament, etc. Now, yeah, anybody for that matter, they might have involved themselves in conflicts or any other stressful situation, but how did you come out of it? That's the question, isn't it? Now, use a STAR method for it. Talk about situation, task, action, and result. I'll be more elaborating on this in the upcoming slide. Now we should understand what is technical question. Technical question is out and out about your subject expertise, your academic expertise. Say I have given explain polymorphism in OOPS concept. What is this? This is a question for BCA students. Similarly, everybody shall have their own technical questions. Now, what is the importance to do here? Revise fundamental answers in your concepts of degree. A basic fundamental question: what is an array? What is the exception handling? What is Java? What is meant by Python? Explain IoT system, etc. Similarly, what is marketing? So, similarly, give a concise answer and an example too. Here, when you give technical answers, they like the way how you know the fundamental and the core concept of the your domain expertise. A very simple answer you are going to give. And next comes situational. Situational round here is to test your how good are you in adjusting the situation, in coordinating with the situation, in developing and being in the team. Being as an employee in the company, how does it really affect? So here you are going to showcase how problem solving skilled person you are and how you represent a good team player in the teamwork. This is what is tested in the situational round. For situational round also you can use STAR method. And lastly, you will be answering HR or personal round of question That is a range of question like, tell me something about your strength, your weakness, your long-term goal, your short-term goals. Why should we hire you in 5 years from now? Where you would like to see yourself, etc. And tell me something about our company. Why would you want to join, etc. Now, why you would like to say this answer? You will be aligning your strengths to the company needs. Means company shall have anything as their expectation. How will you take care of that? How will you align your skills to the company's expectation? For example, company wants you to work in team, a best team player. Company wants you to be very creative. Do you have that creativity? Do you have team playing ability? Company may also expect you to be a versatile in terms of your technical skills are concerned. Do you have that ability? That is a check. Understand all the 4 types of interview question. We would want you to prepare well. I will also be giving you a lot of tips on how you are going to answer in a short way. Okay. After understanding this, how to answer effectively, STAR method in behavioral question, but be concise, short and crisp, but relevant to answers. Avoid long stories. No one is here have the time to hear your long stories. Better be crisp and short. Showcase majorly of your achievements. Like wherever you have got the achievement, showcase that. Highlight that you have won the prize there. You have got successful, the hackathon there, and you have won the medal. You have won the certificate. Highlight more measurably, in the sense that what you have achieved has been brought into a transferable way. See, show that in the resume, show that in the certifications, etc. This is how you can bring that into a measurable way. And of course, balancing the confidence with humility, absolutely needed. I think in this interview preparation, hardly about out of 10, 2 people can be very confident. But once you start preparing, once you start practicing, no matter, confidence definitely follow you. I would always tell you, keep a tip of practicing. Practice makes man perfect, not only man, but women also. Okay. So ask clarifying questions if you're unsure. Definitely that should be there. Don't come without questioning, but not about irrelevant question. Okay. So next, STAR method, which I wanted to explain to you. Now, when you want to answer a question like, can you highlight any situation where you had challenging situation, but you resolved it and you came back with a success? For example, this is a question you assume. Now you are going to use situation, one situation. Describe which context it was. Probably was it during the final year or semester, final semester, or give a certain background to it, basically. So that makes a context built on. Always you need to give a wonderful context before you could start with the answering. Then go with the task, what you really had the task. Explain the responsibility or the challenge you faced. Here you start explaining the responsibility what you had got. Probably in an internship, you along with the other 5 member or 6 member, you're working as a team, but suddenly, unfortunately, one of the team member leaves the team and work has been undone. Now you will take that responsibility on your shoulder, what the other person did not do. So I think definitely it would be a challenging only. How you will take the challenge and how will you face it and how will you overcome the challenging situation and get the success. But the result should be positive. That you will be speaking for about 1 or 2 sentences. Next comes with your action. What you took as an action in order to complete that, come out of the challenge. You here can detailed way you can explain with specific steps what you took. Okay. Now this should be about 65% of answering. The rest all can be 10%, 15% you can segregate while answering. The percentage of answering I meant to talk. But action, you have to speak around almost 65%. You'll have to elaborate on how much the responsibility you have taken, right? This is what it is. Next comes result. Share the outcome here, ideally with measurable impact. Say, for example, the team player was absent for, as I told you earlier, and now with all the pressure you have taken and you have made it success, and you have something to show it to them, maybe in a project file or something in a measurable way that you can show it to your mentors or somebody who has the measuring criteria. Okay, this is how you're going to show the STAR method breakdown. And for example, here is one particular situation that explains the whole concept. Situation I have explained here. For the question called as, tell me about a time you worked in a team to overcome a challenge. This is to check your behavior also, to check your situations. How did you handle a situation? So extensively for a behavioral and situational question, we can use STAR method. I have, for your information, I have mentioned situation. Say it starts like during my final year, okay? And go on explaining what did you do. I think here they developed a mobile prototype, okay? Then task what they had, here it is, right? This is how, with a short way, you have to mention the task. And action, quickly reassessed. I is mentioned. Take a concern of adding I there, because that is you are answering that question. You take the maximum credibility of the success, what you did in the challenge. Okay, what was your role, how did you perform, and how did you coordinate, how were you a team player, how was it successful, and everything you speak. And finally the result, outcome, talk about the measurable outcome. Here it is. This is, but nevertheless, if you feel like it is too long to answer, I have simplified one simple answer for you that we have here. Tell me about a time you handled a conflict in a team. So for this, I think very simple way you can just align it and say, maybe in 30 seconds or in 60 seconds you can answer, but know the method, like how to answer, know the method, situation, task, action, and results. If you be clear with this, I think you will be structurizing way answering it, right? I think this STAR method really works better. If you have any concern about this, you can definitely write in the chat box. I'll be waiting for your response. Okay. You can write in the chat box. Following it, why STAR method? You probably may be asking why we are following STAR method. First of all, it gives you a clear structure, easy for an interviewer to follow, easy for interviewee to prepare also. Because it is in a structure, STAR, easy, right? It shows how you take the initiativeness. Means as a candidate, you can demonstrate the leadership, how you have resolved the problem, how you took up the initiative, how you took the decisions, etc. That is shown there. And it is a quantifiable results. Lot of recognition that goes into showcasing your credibility. Once you bring a credibility, no matter, you can get selected in the job. And it is also a transferable skills. It brings the skill like adaptability because you've already adapted during your internship, during your projects, etc. You have adopted, you have had a teamwork, you've been there in the teamwork, and your communication in the team has been very successful. That is the reason you have brought a positive results. So this is what are highlighted. Once you've done this in the college, I think that is definitely transferable skills in the company. It brings not only credibility, also you become visible. That's how you can bring personal branding too. I think personal branding is a too big term for you now, but still, working on the personal branding from now itself plays an important thing, right? I think now your people have understood what is STAR method and how it's important, isn't it? Just put on the chat box like how much did you like about the STAR method. Here's the segregation of STAR distribution. Just quickly have a look at it. So situation you are going to talk about 15 to 20%, brief context, set the scene without much detailing. Okay, example also I've given here, and you are going to talk about the task around 15 to 20%. Here again, defining the responsibilities, challenging clearly, then action, definitely 40 to 50 percentage. I said more, but still you can go up to 50 percentage. Nevertheless, and results are about 20 to 25%. Sharing the outcome ideally with measurable impacts, and highlight also what you have learned out of the situation. If this is okay, we shall move forward, right? Yeah. Now, common mistake, what you do basically. Most of the people does some common mistake. They think that it is avoidable or it is negligible, but yet again, it can make a biggest problem, or it can become a biggest mistake. You overload a resume with irrelevant details, not required. As I shown in the beginning, the 5 sections, please only follow them. This is with respect to resume. When coming to interview, don't answer too much. What is required? I think you can learn by the body language of interviewer. If their actions is so swift, you can stop. You can be only specific to the question and stop with that. Using jargons without clarity. Yeah. Some of the time, which the layman terminology will not be used by some of the people. So-called, they will be very intellectual people. So they start using a lot of jargons without understanding the place over there, or without understanding interviewer background, etc. Better we use a simplified words with even a layman terminology could be okay to listen, to understand. Okay. Giving generic answer. Don't give generic answer that I'm a hard worker, I'm a multitasker, or I can handle multiple skills, something like that. Don't give vague answers or generic answer, because that is really not wanted. Give some specific answer like I possess leadership quality because I have displayed my leadership role during my internship. There I learned how to be a leader. So that is absolutely specific answer. And for a commerce student, or for a marketing student, they have been put into marketing projects. There they have learned communication practically. So say that I have now become a best communicator, an excellent communicator, because during the internship, during the mini project, I had handled a lot of negotiation, a lot of persuasion. So I am a best communicator. I'm an excellent communicator. Something like this. Don't give a generic answer rather. And don't speak about negatively of anybody. Here you may be a fresher. This particular thing will not be applicable, but still, you might have worked in an internship. That experience also you may talk in front of the company employers. You don't have to speak negatively about the employers where you had worked. Never ever, even in the future also. And not asking question at the end. Don't do this. Simply getting and coming back from the interview place will not give you anything, or it doesn't look good also. I have given few questions. Please do ask at least two questions. Two is definitely manageable to ask, right? So ask questions so that you can be considered as a serious candidate for that matter. Okay. Next comes final tips for success. That is, you may highlight some practical mock interview with peers or mentors. Lot of practice makes you perfect. As I said, go on practicing the mock interview questions with your friends, with your mentors, or anybody. Prepare 2 to 3 questions to ask interviewer. Definitely, however, vice versa, you can start preparing questions to ask the interview. Next, you follow up with a thankful email. As I already told, treat every interview as a learning experience. This is really matter. Means once now you are all youngsters, you may not know what a failure look like. Failures are the stepping stone that our elders have already told. Now, once you go to an interview, that is not the end of life. That is the starting point of the life. When you stand in the tip of the India, Kanyakumari, and look towards Sri Lanka or the ocean, Indian Ocean, thus India ends. And similarly, turn towards Kashmir, turn towards the other side, and look at India start from there. This is how you must inculcate a positive attitude. Wherever you are there, in whatsoever the situation, you must find a positive. Though you have failed an interview, do not worry. Do not repent on yourself. Understand that is a learning experience. Life is full of experience only. So please treat yourself that you have done a best job and you will start preparing for the next interview. And this is just a learning experience in my life. And believe me, you will become a pro, right? So this is how a final tips look like. And some common interview questions I have given here. You can take note on it, or you may just go in detail and understand. For example, first, tell me about yourself. Here, what you can do is you can speak about present tense, past tense, and future of you, considering your education, considering your background. So what you do is, start with your name, okay, and start with your location again, where you're from, and start the answer like, I recently have graduated in computer science or any other domain which is applicable for you, and completed my internship in software. Mention about any internship which recently I've done. So make a note of all these things. I have brought you a short and crisp answering methods, because most of the interview places, what happens is at the time of HR round of interview, they may have time or they may not have time to ask you questions. Be quick in answering. Do not waste the time in that way by elaborating the answers, etc. And then talk about your graduation and talk about your internship, what you did. And if you ask me, Also mention one important skill that you learned during internship. You've had a practical experience, okay, during internship or during your mini project. So there you gained a practical knowledge. Talk about one learning, one soft skill learning and one technical learning, what you did, what you developed. So the employer will get, uh, inspired by your answer. And also talk about you are excited so much that you have had a full time job, or you're going to have the role there in the company, and you are going to grow as a person along with the company. Share that, the wish or the aspiration, what you have connected with the company, so that you can contribute innovatively, creatively, with a lot of talent, with a lot of, what do you say, updated skills, upgraded skills of you, matching to the trend. Talk about these things. Maybe this answer can be very positive from your side, and also kind of you bring a credibility to yourself by making them understand uh, what you have talked about. Okay. This is about tell me about yourself. This is a crucial question. Most of the interview questions, it comes in the questions. Basically, the first question I would say. Then definitely there is a question called as what are your strengths? Here you talk about your ability. Okay. One strength is enough to talk about. Suppose you are a very good communicator, for example. Wherever you go, you talk on the stage, you talk on the public forum. You can communicate with your body language, you can communicate with your tone in a right manner. You are empathizing the people, and then you are actively listening everybody. So because of all of these, you're bringing too much of credibility to yourself. That means you are a perfect communicator. And now, how will you make this as a strength? In the company, whenever the opportunities are provided to you, you make the most possible to talk in meetings, to negotiate in some of the discussions, uh, to also to highlight yourself when it comes to team playing, or to talk about the projects, everything. So bring a lot of credibility again to yourself by involving yourself in the projects or by involving yourself in the work. So communication is one of the strength I would say everybody must have. I just gave one example as a strength. Similarly, you could have many other example also. Say you have creativity. Maybe from a long time you have been so creative in delivering different way, everything in a different way. Um, how will you bring that? Maybe in the projects, something very creative. At the end moment, something has to be created in a nice way, maybe in a different way, in a unique way, and your ideas are flown there. So that's how you can bring a huge contribution by being creative to the team. Similarly, by taking decisions and by being having a leadership, or by managing time. Oh my God, this is absolutely necessary to let deliver successful project on time. One should be having a sense of self management. More than the time management, what I would say is self management. Once you start managing yourself, you you can manage time also. Most of the employers are looking after people who could finish the work efficiently within the given time framework. Okay. So better you have strength, time management more. I mean, you can start working yourself in terms of time management is concerned on more, right? So strengths can be your ability, strengths can be your easy to tackle, or strengths can be your what do you say, positive thing which you have, which you're very confident of. So talk one strength and elaborate on the task, elaborate on the the strength. Give one example, as I gave you so many examples. Similarly, one example you give, and then talk about the impact later on. Say you are a very good communicator, that is your strength. Give one example and impact of that. So that suffices your answer. Okay. Then comes your weakness. Oh God, area of improvement. They may ask you. They may ask you, they may not ask you. That is up to their discretion. If at all you're asked to answer a weakness, one weakness, talk about only one weakness. Again, you may have series of weaknesses, but highlight on only one weakness which you are not able to clear it out, or which you have made some strategy to bring changes in that. For example, you are emotional person. Okay, you get too easily judged, you get too easily hurt by people, so that you cry somewhere going into a very aloof place or something. You may not get adjusted to people sometimes. This all comes. Now when you say I'm an emotional person, I would like to stay introvert and etc., it's a bad thing. It's a no-no for employers. So what you say, yeah, I used to struggle with emotional aspect, but now by being with all sort of people, maybe interpersonal people, by being with sociable people, by being with amiable people, I have now changed myself into not being an emotional one. Now I can able to understand the situation, I can read the room, I can become calm, not by not getting emotional. So I am working on my emotional aspect. Like I will shift my mind somewhere in a good sense, or I can do meditation for that matter. So that's how you can change yourself, right? Similarly, I have also given one of the areas of improvement. Maybe it is the public speaking. Most of you will have it. Because of the public speaking phobia, most of you don't have confidence. Yeah, you can say that I have been practicing through presentations at college events, and now also I'm practicing, and I think now I'm much more confident to address people, address group, etc. This is how you can say. But the thing is, follow this formula. Once you start saying weakness, and comment on strategy of improvement, say about the strategy where you can improve and show a positive sign. That gives more credibility to even the answer of weakness. Okay. Any question? Any question? If you have any question, you can write in the chat box. Now, the most important question. I think by this time, when they ask you this question, they might have asked 4 to 5 questions. It's taking from tell me something about you, or situational question, behavioral question. They might have asked you, they have known something more about you. Now they would want to test why that they want to hire you. Crucial question. Okay. Formula, what I can bring to you is you talk about the skills what you have, the strengths of what you have, and how you make yourself fit. By having those skills, how you make yourself a fit to the job, fit to the job designation, fit to the company value, company's culture. Okay, every company will have their own culture. Please remember this. Each company will have their own mission statement, vision statement, and a value statement. They not only put it as a statement, but they also follow practically in all the way possible. Now, how are you fit to that way is a question. Very short way. I bring strong technical skills, mention one or two technical skills you're strong with, and also talk about one or two soft skills, that you are an adaptable person and you are a quick learning person, you are a proactive person, and you can learn quickly whatsoever comes in your way. And then you can also say, you can believe me, I can contribute fresh ideas while quickly adapting to the new changes. Every time companies are bringing new changes to people, to the employees, so how quick are you in adapting? Those things are an important thing. This is how you're going to answer. Okay. So hello.